Right, hi guys, and welcome to our new podcast, The Lowdown. Today it's me, Chris, and James from Lowdown Transporters, and we are joined by Jack Dropworks. Say hello, guys. Right then,
Dude.
so we're just gonna have a kind of casual chat, bit of a catch up, but we thought while we're doing it, may as well film it and put it on YouTube for everyone to see. So let's get into it, I suppose. Right then, you all got a beer?
Yeah.
Drinking. Jack, James, have you got a beer? Because you're a bit unnerved. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, I suppose. Are you still hanging?
I am, yeah. I'm not drinking tequila tonight. I might after I drink these beers. So
you probably feel worse for drinking beer.
Yeah, probably.
Right then, my first topic that I've written down to talk about is our vans.
Which ones?
Well,
not much going on there.
They're literally, they're all just broken.
Literally, not one of them works properly.
None of them at all.
Shed.
Yeah, mine's just the T5 is just full of tools and scrap, and just gets absolutely bad. It hasn't had an MOT for months.
You got the splitty in the back. Tools
in the back of the T5. It's small, but not. I mean, it's probably quite a lot.
Scrap.
Yeah, I mean, all the bits that we cut off of it, which was a lot. Yeah, that could go in the back, but not the whole thing.
It's got to be nearly ready now, though. Surely.
I don't know. I mean, it is kind of back on the way, but at the same time, there's still just like so much. Like, literally, like you just didn't. I just didn't really think about it. Like when it turned up, it's sort of like even Jack sort of just washed his hands on it as soon as it turned up. He looked at it and went, even though I've literally got it at Jack's, it turned up and he sort of looked at it and went, I don't have nothing to do with this. Like, you're on your own sort of thing, because it's literally it's a complete restoration. Like any normal person that was building that in the garage is probably like a 5 or 6 year restoration on its own. We've thrown a body drop in there as well, like obviously all the custom suspension, all that sort of stuff. So and somehow it's actually, people take the piss, but actually it's starting to come together now. It's starting to take shape. Like obviously I sort of started on it on my own to begin with. Like I said, Jack would just wanted nothing to do with it. It sort of led me a quick hand once in a while when I needed a lift for something, or if I needed just a second pair of eyes and a second brain on something to work something out. It's only sort of, I suppose, the last, I don't know, year maybe, Jack sort of jumping on it a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. I think he's got fed up with it being there, and he's like, right, fuck this, I'm getting on this as well now.
There's only
one my garden back.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, all the repair panels are done now. The chassis is obviously all built. All the chassis then tied now into the body along the sides, like the outriggers and that sort of stuff. Majority of the outer body panels are all done. So I think we're now moving on to floors, and then I suppose connecting up a lot of the controls, like gear linkage and all that sort of stuff. And then it'll be time to strip it all back apart again, and then paint it all, and then put it all back together properly, sort of thing, like the actual restoration side of things. Like
all the wiring, it takes ages. Like, so you got a wire.
Yeah, obviously you can buy like a lot of the sort of pre-done looms, like Air Cooled Auto Elec and people like that. So it might just be a case. It just depends what stage we're at in the future, I suppose. If it gets to a point where we're like, a couple of weeks to a show, and we think, you know what, let's do that, because I'm not in any rush to sort of get it done now, because I can't see many shows happening this year. But then I can sort of see myself getting it to a good stage, and then all of a sudden, the COVID rules will be sort of restricted, or less restricted, and all of a sudden the show will be on, and I'll be like, I want to get it to that, and it might just be a last minute rush, and someone might just have to come wire it, but which is pretty bad considering I was an electrician. So, but
it's a little bit different on a vehicle, isn't it? But still,
yeah, needs must sometimes. When it gets down to that last sort of 2 week rush to the end of a build, like you get as many people in there as you can just to get that shit done.
Just get anyone to help, don't you?
You really do, yeah. I mean, it's especially when it's like that. Like I said, it's full ground up rebuild, really. Like even the wheels were now like put a set of wheels on it, and we just weren't happy with them. So now we're cutting the wheels apart and turning them into split rims, like just because why not? And so it's pretty much like every single part of it now is just completely redone. I suppose the roof is pretty much the only part that's really been untouched.
Yeah.
I'd say from my point of view, we've done 2 years of, what seems like constantly working on it, to be back at a stage where it's exactly the same as when it arrived here, just lower.
It's actually still now probably got less metalwork in it than it had when it arrived. Like, it actually wasn't that bad. When I bought it, I thought, before I bought it, I thought, all right, I want to look for one that's like a bit rotten on the bottom because I want to do a body drop and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to cut all that shit out anyway. It turned up, and it was bad. Like all the lower sort of 2 or 3 inches of all the sills and quarters and stuff like that were pretty bad. But the actual like floor inside, it wasn't that bad. Like there was a few little patches. Like we probably could have done it in a completely different way, and you would have done it in a completely different way if it was a solid vehicle. Like, but we just sort of looked at it, and like I said at the beginning, Jack didn't want anything to do with it, so I just got the grinder out, got the recip saw out, and just cut the fuck out of everything, floors out and everything. And afterwards, we sort of looked at it and went, we probably went about that sort of a bit arse about tit, really. Because now obviously it's got like a full custom chassis to it, which is cool, don't get me wrong, like, but we probably could have saved ourselves a lot of time.
That chassis though isn't just like everyone else has done it, is it? So there's been R&D in with what you've done. So
yeah, so a lot of the stuff on that we've done like 3 times. You know what I mean? Like the front chassis sections, where all the beam and everything mounts to, like I'm pretty sure we've done them 2 or 3 times on the drawings, and then cut them on the plasma and tried it and sort of decided against it, and then went, changed it a little bit more. And
yeah,
do you know what I mean? There's a lot of forward and back.
I still have that bit of wood behind my TV with all the drawings on from doing the
yeah, probably sat at the computer doing the drawings.
Yeah.
But it is a proper home build, isn't it? Really, like it's literally just been done like in the garden. Like it hasn't been done in like an immaculate workshop. Like because like I said, Jack had his own work to do. He's just lending me a bit, his garden or his yard sort of outside to do this in. And yeah, we get to pull it in once in a while when he just happens to not have a lot in.
No, it's when I have to go away or when I have to do something for a couple of days. I'll come back and it'll be in the workshop.
Come back and it'll be inside.
When I'm forced to work on
it. But like, I suppose putting the body back onto the chassis was the sketchiest thing in the world, weren't it?
It was
literally we just put no thought into it. When we took the chassis off, we put no thought into it. We literally just like cut everything out. We lifted the front of the body up a bit onto some tires at the front. Like cut the chassis off at the front, and the chassis sort of drops down. And then the rear, there's Jack and my mate Ben as well, and they literally held a wheel arch each, lifted it. I got underneath, quickly sawzalled through the chassis at the back, cut it off, and they just held it there, and I had to roll it out. I started rolling it back and forgot I'd left the all the steering column in. So as soon as it rolled back, I literally just crashed into the bulkhead of the van, and they were just like, "What the fuck are you doing?" They're literally trying to hold the whole weight of the split screen on the thinnest pieces of metal as well, all digging into the fingers. I had to quickly just run around and just cut straight through the steering shaft, because there was no other option. And I found out at a later date it's really quite an expensive steering column. So just cut through that, and then I pulled it out, and then we just basically put it down on the floor, sort of where it stood, where it landed. So when it comes back to putting it back on, do you know what I mean? There was nothing structural to lift it by. There was a panel van as well, so we couldn't even put like something through the windows and like lift it up. There was nothing. And I can't even remember how we really done it. We just sort of found bits and somehow started jacking it up, and it was pretty much on like an axle stand, a jack on top of a brick, another axle stand on top of a block, and like the whole thing was just floating in the air, and like a little bit of wind would have blown it over. And somehow managed to get that chassis back underneath it, and then sort of lowered it down slowly and got it back to the floor to then sort of join it back on. Man, it was just one of the shadiest things I've ever done in my life. Like, especially when we were underneath it, trying to like, get the chassis into place and that. And it's like I said, it's literally just teetering on the edge.
Proper sketch, wasn't it? It wasn't as bad for me because I had no money in it. For me, it was amusing. Yeah. Chris, that was probably quite scary.
The thing, isn't it? Especially even at that stage, it was probably still a fair amount of money's worth of well, I'd fair amount into it, I suppose. Really, do you know what I mean? Like, still several £1,000s into that chassis, plus whatever I spent on it buying it originally. You know what I mean? It was fair. It was a fair wedge really into it, and it still was nowhere near even a vehicle.
Are you keeping the paintwork all as it is?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and, like, obviously there's been some repair panels on the bottom, so we've got to try and figure out sort of blending them into the bits of paint. Then we're just going to polish the hell out of it and just wax it and see how it goes, because there's a few bits that are really nice. Like the roof is really cool, like it runs so nicely in the wet weather, and the rest of the body, there's some really cool patches. I just don't want to sort of get rid of it. And plus, I don't really want it to be a really nice van. If it was going to be a proper nice van, we'd have to spend so much more time on it, because you'd have to get everything perfect. You know what I mean? Like door shuts and stuff like that, perfect. Whereas if it's a bit of a patina van, you can sort of get away with them bits. You can leave them for a little bit longer, and address them when you get time, rather than before it ever sees the light of day.
It does have a cool look.
Plus, I don't want to be too precious about it either. Like, I'd quite like to use it quite a bit, like go Tesco shopping and shit like that, and actually not have to worry about whether someone's going to open the door onto it.
Like the first year we did Bug Jam, and Dave Smith pulled up in his Splitty, and he's like, "Yeah, get on the roof."
Yeah, we were just literally just dancing on the roof. Like, that van was abused, really, wasn't it?
So then, Jack, you've put a couple of teasers up. You got to talk us through the LT a little bit.
I don't even know where to start. I think the main issue I'm having with the lorry is the fact that it's, I don't know what it is, 5-6 meters long. And it's 6.5 foot wide. So I had the great idea of, right, I'll start working on this while I'm doing other people's work as well. But now I can't move it. So it's just outside.
Best bit is it's in the same spot that the split was in when we done exactly the same thing before. But at least the split you could kind of lift it with 4 or 5 people. You could have lifted it, but we still didn't learn the lesson then.
Yeah, that's very much the same recipe as everything, isn't it? On the floor, try and get some sort of power in it. Ideally, I'd like to have it clean, do all the body work and paint it and stuff. But as I say, that's not on the back burner, but I need to get some funds and things together, do it probably the first time.
Yeah, it'd be nice to do it properly the first time round, I think, rather than having to do it once and then go, bollocks, I wish we would have done it another way, and then do it again.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rush anything, but I want to basically build the perfect vehicle, so I can use it for towing, moving stuff, use it actually for what it was made for, but whilst having the cells sat on the floor.
It does.
It needs to be half decent power as well. It needs a bit of a turbo whistle to it, I think.
It needs a large turbo, doesn't it?
Cummins diesel.
Cummins diesel would.
Yeah.
That would be the one, wouldn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Huge dirt grate fucking pipe sticking off it.
I've pretty much come to terms with the fact that where the rear half of the cab is literally just going to be an engine bay. I've come to terms with the fact there's no seats going in the back. Because the issue is because you sit on top of the engine in that. So the lower I went with it, obviously the higher the engine's coming.
Oh yeah, shit! It's basically going to be in the cab, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously how you sit in that, you sit above the wheels, obviously with the steering as well. So your steering rack, obviously that comes up basically under your ass. So you've got to have your link rod. I mean, originally I was going to put a PD 130 in there, run basically a Golf front end, just beefed up a bit, but because of the steering and everything, it just weren't going to work. I'd be right if I had no legs, but I do. So that idea wasn't going to work.
You have to have all hand controls, and just like
yeah. I mean, I could just put some motorbike handlebars in there, just run everything off it.
There was talk of putting it on an auto box in the back, didn't we? And just when you have to drive, just sort of have to lean back and just put it into drive, and then you're mint then, aren't you?
Yeah, this is the thing. Like I say, I want everything to be right on that. So I want power steering, I want all the luxuries, cruise control, all that sort of stuff. So if Chris says, right, we need to go to Germany now, because it's not a strange thing to hear from Chris just in a day.
Let's go to Austria. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we can just get in it and go, and whether put the split on the back, get gone. Because if not, we're going to be doing 50 everywhere for the rest of our lives. I'd rather at least just build one thing fast that can put him on the back.
Yeah, and it will save a lot of breakdown.
Scenario.
It really will.
Yeah. So
Breakdown. If I just put it on there from the beginning, we don't have to even worry about the breakdown. That's it.
it just gets it, and it doesn't matter if we break down because we can just get any of the vehicles on the back and go home.
But what do we do for lorry race?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're screwed there. It's a big boy, like
lorry.
yeah, like split screen won't tell it. No way.
Would you need a
I
special
can't remember.
for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you'd need the sort of thing they pick up normal lorries with.
Yeah. If you're a dinky.
I mean, I don't know the exact measurements of it, but if you have to walk from one side to the other, it's not weird for it to change seasons on the way around. Like, it is long.
Fucking wide as well, isn't it? Like seriously, like
is.
you could probably put a bench seat for 4 people in the front of it.
Yeah, I can lay down widthways in it and not be touching both sides.
Jeez.
Yeah, you are short though.
I'm not that sure.
That came up, and it is absolutely massive in that double cab.
It is monstrous. But yeah, there's been a few ideas for the back. I mean, I was going to leave the recovery back on it, but the rear wheels come, a good 10 inches through that when it's on drop. Then there was talk of maybe making a little curtain sider, so it's just a tiny lorry. But anything can happen. I might put a caravan on the back. I'm not sure yet.
Put one of them big billboards on the back of it. Just literally drive an advertisement. Just go park it up in laybys and shit.
Sleep in it.
You can just do anything, can't you?
Low down
Such a
transport, massive writing at the side of it will lead to motorway bridges.
Park on the A11
That'd be
somewhere.
such a good idea, though, wouldn't it?
It's quite a good idea.
This is the thing, and I mean, if I don't necessarily need to have a flatbed on it because I can just put a trailer behind it. I feel like one of them Australians, the land trains. But nevertheless, as long as it's got a decent engine, that'll pull a trailer with something on it.
Yeah,
One of them big trailers that you can put 2 cars on. It really would be a land train then.
Yeah, I mean, I had to change the engine because the one that was in there, I'd done a bit of shady recovery work, pulled out in front of a police car. I actually only had one strap on the car. So I was like, oh no, I better, get away from them. And I couldn't get past 30. I'd done about 3 miles just at 30, and in the end, the police car overtook and drove off because we were taking that long. I hit the speed limit once in that truck, and that was when Chris was following me, and I had about 3 ton of concrete slabs on the back, didn't I? Your whole garage.
And that come out of nowhere, didn't it? Like literally, it loaded my whole garage up on there, ripped all my garage down. That was like asbestos roof, and that was all like prefab concrete panels holding it up. Jack's like, oh, I'll take that, I'll chuck it on the roadway, sort of thing. So yeah, we took it all down, loaded it on there, and that was a whole garage, wasn't it? Like big 3 meter by 3 meter by 5 meter garage. It was heavy. Like and yeah, we're going along, and that was sort of doing all right, weren't it? It was sort of doing about 40, 50. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that just took off. And I thought, what's he doing? I tried to catch up with him, caught up with him. He was only doing like, 70, 75, but that was like phenomenal for that. We got back, and I said, what happened there? Did you finally, find the accelerator? Because I had my foot flat to the floor pretty much since I left yours. He said, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just decided to just take off.
I was fully expecting that, parts of engine to come through and hit me in the ass. Like all of a sudden it just went. But I put £20 in the petrol I was on. I put £20 in, and I used that £20 on that journey because when I pulled in here, that then ran out of fuel. And I mean, that's not that far between our houses.
Probably about 19 miles into it, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big old truck though.
Yeah, it is a hell of a thing.
So I suppose the last one, James.
Right.
Van.
What?
Oh God, your van. What we doing with it?
So I've had it long enough. I think it's time to make some changes. Gonna paint it, get some new rims, I suppose.
Interior in it as well.
Huh?
We're going to redo the interior.
I quite like it. Really rough at the minute, but Yeah, it'd be nice to have it a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Because we kind of made the layout so you can all sort of sit in there and chill, but we don't really sit in the vans that much. Normally outside in the sun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
When we get it, we do.
What?
When we get the sun, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When we get the sun.
It's usually 3 a.m. when we're back in the vans because we don't want to go to sleep. In it, and it's stinky and horrible.
Yeah, it's usually the way. What's happening with your van, Adam?
Well, it's back at the Slambassador having the new hydro fitted. I need to buy a new tyre for the rotorforms because I had a blowout and I was on the fucking Weller wheels.
Yeah, I need to get them on. A good looking set of wheels on there.
It looks so bloody good as well. But you have to special order the tyres. I can't seem to find them around here.
They're really that small?
No, they're only 205 35 18s. So, oh, Jack's gone. Oh, there he is. Hello. Yes, they're not really small, but around here, like they're all farmers, so they all have like 65 profile tyres.
Yeah.
I need to get some of them on it. But no, I'm going to do a few videos on the new hydro setup, how it's done, and then the Slambassador kit. Do you mean why it's better and all that stuff? So other than that, it still is what it is. The engine fell out again the other week.
Oh, nice, that's handy.
It wasn't the bolts this time. They actually pulled the threads out of the engine, which is lovely. It was on the morning Andrew came over to film it, and I started it up, and I could hear the drive shaft clacking from side to side. The engine was like wobbling around. Oh shit! Just put a ratchet strap on it and strapped it up for the whole day, and towed a caravan.
Oh, that's incredible, man! Engine just held in with a fucking ratchet strap.
Well, it was when we were. What were we doing? We were filming Lewis at Sign FX's van, weren't we, for the day?
Yeah, when we put the bags on his.
Yeah, we tried chasing Jack home. We got to like 70, I think, or some shit speed. The roundabout, we got some fuel, turned around, and the engine just fucking fell out.
It was bad. We were on that northern distributor route around Norwich, coming around there, and it was like juddering away, weren't it? And you went, "What is that noise?" And I was like, "Nah, it's this road, and it's a bad road. Like, considering it's a new road, every time I go around there, I think, oh, my wheel's gonna fall off. Like, it's just not a nice road surface." And so I was just like, "To you, no, don't worry about it. It's just the road surface." And like, a little while later, your bloody engine just fell out, and it's like that was probably part of the noise.
You were like, the hydro's broke, and I was like, I'm lifting it. Nothing was happening, yet the engine was just getting lower and lower in the engine bay.
Yeah, it was just scraping on the floor. I thought it must have like done a lining or something, because just flopped to one side, but it wasn't. It only felt like I'd flopped to one side because the engine dropped your side and all the weight was on my side.
Lowered vehicles save engines when they fall out.
They do, to be fair. They've got less distance to pull.
Absolutely fine. So yeah, I fixed that anyway. I think we'll see in another 3 or 5 months if it falls out again.
I can't be bothered to fix my T5. I just
want a PD.
Literally, I just abuse it. Nah, not that one.
Yeah, I want to PD the T4, but
the T4, yeah.
It still works, and I just can't be arsed. I hate doing engines. So, well, I hate doing anything. Apparently, I rang Dennis earlier and said, "Was it all right under the van when you fit the new hydro?" And he was like, "Yeah, but you've obviously got tired and forgot to weld bits back in. I'd like to bits of metal and stuff." So yeah, it's all strengthened up and like sound now, which is good.
Thank fuck for that. I'm not to give you a welder anytime soon.
You've seen the caravan. It moves. It's fine. But we need to finish that caravan, really.
Yeah, please let me.
Yeah, I need to get back on that at some point, don't we? Like when lockdown sort of lifted a little bit, and we're allowed to sort of get a bit closer together. I suppose it'd be nice to get on with that again, get the interior sorted.
Yeah, get it really nice inside and somewhere to go for a shit at a show would be nice.
Stop it from wobbling around so much as well, because there's just no strength in that body at all. Because took all them cabinets out, we've done the suspension of that, yeah, mint, but there's still like no cabinet. You literally like push it, and it's like, oh.
The only thing holding the front of the body to the chassis is the U-shaped bench seat I put back in there. The only thing holding it together. I took that off, and it's because it was so high, and when I lowered it, I kind of like let one side down, and then the other side, the body kind of like ripped off. Yeah, it's
Or was it just siliconed on or something?
bit of CT1, it was fine. Just bunged it along the bottom. But
I'm never driving behind you.
I don't want to drive anywhere near that caravan. This is a public service announcement. If you see that caravan on the road, just drive past it.
It was Andrew Thompson sent me some photos the other day of when we were going to like where he was doing the photo shoot. There was actual like flakes of paint just flying off the top of it where it's got too hot in the summer. So yeah, it's not.
What paint did you use to paint it?
Just some shit I found at B&Q. So that'll do. Whopped it on the side.
Again, I'm not sure you can buy proper caravan paint. Is that a thing?
No, they're all just white and they're all boring. So it will look good when it finally finished. Get it in the unit, make it a bit lower, make the bags work proper, fit an interior.
Yeah, I think we put different solenoids or something. I think they were proper cheap Amazon solenoids, weren't they? They both failed now, or what?
Yeah. So now to raise it, you have to plug it in, and then when it gets up to temperature, just let it out. And then when you want to let it back down, you actually have to go pull an airline off the bag now.
Yeah, solenoids are crap. They're just cheap Amazon ones that we literally just grabbed because I knew all of a sudden we just made that plan to come up to yours and do it like the night before. So I just ordered everything on Amazon. They're just crap cheap ones.
So yeah, we'll
Do
get
something proper with it.
Because I think it'll look really cool at the shows with the side open and all the stock inside. It's going to look really good.
Well, you won't get all the stock inside.
A little bit of the stock inside, yeah.
You get a few bits.
We're going to have to get a shipping container for Jack's lorry to put all the stock.
Literally, we're just gonna have to just get some boxes that just stack in there nicely. Just job done. Or just turn the lorry into the new mobile shop.
Yeah, I mean, I brought the lorry with the intention of making a camping pod for the back, but my idea of a camping pod is literally just a fucking toilet in the middle. I just want to be able to poo. I can't keep holding it in for days on end. Like
your own toilet at a show is the only thing that I get jealous about coach builds. I'm like, oh, you bastards. I mean, you've seen Mix inside that thing. Like we had 12 people in there, and we all had room. It was beautiful.
Yeah, do you remember when we had like 14 people in David Clark's van, and we literally none of us could really barely breathe. We were just literally stacked on top of each other in that T25 and couldn't even move.
All the walls in the van are like arses of jeans as well. So you just got someone's arse next to your face.
Yeah, that was at the barbecue at HQ, weren't it? All I remember was I was right at the back, curled up against the window, and every time I wanted to get out, someone had to get out at the front, walk around, and open the tailgate, and I sort of just flopped out. And I'm literally sitting there drinking my beer like this, like in the back corner, just like barely could move.
Next minute it's 6 a.m.
Where was that again? Where was that again?
That was at the first barbecue we done at Transporter HQ. Circa 2018, I suppose it was.
That's when I woke up and there was ice on the inside of my windows.
That was it. Coming out, ice coming out your nostrils. Yeah.
Let's not skip the second night, Jack. Let's talk about that a little bit. How much?
The years.
Oh, I don't know.
It was. You drank. There was like empty liquor bottles just like outside your van, and was the tailgate open, Chris? No, we had no curtains. That was it. You had no.
We had no curtains, no insulation. No, it wasn't even any wooden panels in the van. It was literally just bare metal. Like no insulation, no sound deadening, no wood panels, no carpet liner, nothing. It was literally a mattress thrown into the back of that T25 with just a normal duvet. It wasn't even like a sleeping bag or thermal sleeping bag. Nothing. It was just a normal duvet and like one pillow, I think.
And then
And
when the tailgate opens, there was puke down the back of the van and just a puddle on the front.
a massive puddle out the front one. There's his hat as well, and just his cap, just sort of full of sick. And but we had to wrap.
Nice.
We wrapped him up in the thermal screens, didn't we? He did have them thermal screens that you put on the inside of the windows with the suckers, and they were just sort of like all flopped around everywhere. And I went, well, instead of putting them on the windows, we'll just put them around Jack. So we sort of like wrapped them around him when we put him into bed.
Like he'd done the bloody London Marathon. Just wrapped.
Yeah, literally. It was
oil
as if he was like, you know, in the back of an ambulance or something, and we just put him in one of them silver jackets.
Yeah, I stayed sober that night because we got so messy the night before that by the time it was bedtime, it was time to start letting people in.
Yeah, I can bet. I think that was the days I used to be able to drink two nights in a row. Like I'm starting to not feel like that nowadays. I start to hurt a bit more because I'm pretty sure, like I said, we got pretty hammered that the Friday night when we got there to set up.
Yeah.
Just in the back of David's van, went to bed. Like we only got a couple of hours sleep, I'm sure. Got up, sort of recovered during the day, and then just started drinking again early morning. I think. Jack got absolutely wrecked. I can't really remember much of the night. I remember Dan Chambers being a bit pissed then.
We blew.
And then all of a sudden it was.
We blew 4 of the amps up in the Alpine.
That was it, Alpine. Yeah, lent us their bass van or whatever it was.
That was mad. So they telling the viewers, like they lent us their Alpine stereo T5 like demo vehicle, and they buggered off, didn't they? Just went to the hotel.
So they just left. Well, I think they lived down the road, didn't they? They literally just left it in the hands of Transport HQ and just said, "Well, at the end of the night, just make sure you put it in your unit. And that'll be all right." They said, "Whatever happens, happens," sort of thing.
4 of the amps inside were flashing red because we had the music so bloody loud in there. But it's incredible.
Yeah, that was well good. That was,
mate. That sound system is insane.
Yeah,
that was a good weekend, to be fair.
Yeah.
Problem is, every time we've done one of them barbecues at Transport HQ, I always wake up and everyone's gone home. Like literally everyone. This year was the worst one. I think I woke up and there was Burrell, you were left there, weren't you? There was Jack was left, and I think Lewis. That was literally it. That I woke up and like they were all outside taking the gazebo down and everything for me. Everyone had gone, like the whole place. Like the day before, there was like 150 vans there.
Yeah.
Like when I went to bed, there was probably still 130 vans there. Yeah. Woke up in the morning, everyone's gone. I thought, what's going on?
That's the worst I've ever been, and I was going straight home the minute I woke up in the morning. I was a mess.
Yeah, I wasn't driving anywhere for hours.
I don't remember the whole show. Like I don't remember a single part of it. I know I was there, but that's it.
I barely remember seeing you, honestly.
I remember seeing Chris's Willie.
That's every show.
Just a standard weekend, then, really.
Standard. Do you remember at Bug Jam, that bloke was on the back of his pickup and he was holding that naked cuddles sign?
The sign just said "Get naked," didn't he?
Yeah, and you just got naked and bundled him.
Ran up to him, butt naked. Him and his mate literally sat there and just like this big sign, "Get naked," thinking they're cool as fuck. And I just walked up to them naked. They were just like, they literally didn't know what to do. Just like.
I seem to remember you had a motorbike helmet on as well, didn't you?
I did have a
some sort of helmet on.
There is a photo somewhere.
Yeah, I literally walked up to them and they just went, I went, "Oh, what's the plan now?" And they went, "I don't know. I didn't expect anyone to actually do it." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm just going to go back there and just carry on drinking then." They're like, "All right, cool. See you later." Like, bye. Just walked off. Just got naked to 2 random geezers I didn't know.
And another of the note, because I was writing some of the notes down on there, like what to talk about, and I was like, funny things that have happened at shows. And then I just thought about when the I forgot what paper it was, but we were in the Isle of Wight and they had all the stormtroopers and they put them all out of our vans. And then in the paper, they got the photo of you hanging your knob out the side of your van behind the wall.
On TV as well, weren't it? My knob was on the BBC in Isle of Wight or whatever it was, weren't it? I literally just like did the picture and there was me right in the background. It was literally like a crowd of like 30 people and stormtroopers and stuff, like all posing. There was me in the background just fucking windmilling my cock around. But not a single person noticed it. No one who was actually in the editing team or anything. No one spotted. It must be.
But it's proper when you know it's there. You can clearly see you behind them, like woo. Because that was the same show that the BBC interviewed Dave Smith, and he'd only had a couple of hours sleep, hadn't he?
Yeah, then they're feeding his van.
Yeah. The safari windows at the front of the TV presenter started like pretending to feed it some food on telly.
What did he say to it again?
Oh no! Behind him, like, what the fuck is going on?
There was Spence Pritchard, like 2 vans down, literally chundering up a whole bottle of vodka, and this geezer's standing there pretending to feed Dave's van, and we're all sitting there just like, what is this geezer doing?
It was 10 a.m. on that Friday that Spence sent someone off to get a litre of vodka, and he started drinking that vodka at like 11. By 11:30, Zoe just looked at me and went, "There is no way a human can sustain that amount of alcohol." And what was it, 1 in the afternoon? He's leant.
Probably wasn't even that far, was it?
Puking over his front wheel, going, "Don't film me."
He was bad, wasn't he? I think that was the day of the actual cruise out, weren't it? They did that little cruise out on the Isle of Wight, and it was literally, we woke up and he was saying like the day before, he was like, "I'm gonna get up real early tomorrow and go surfing and that." And we're like, "Yeah, all right, cool, yeah, all right, fair enough." Got up and he was still there. I thought, "What was he up to?" So I thought you were going surfing. He was like, "Nah, I think we're just gonna sit here and get hammered." And I was like, "All right, well, we're all gonna go out on this little cruise thing. We'll come back in a little while." I was like, "Do you want anything?" He's like, "Can you bring me a bottle of vodka back when you come back?" I said, "Yeah, all right." So we went. I can't remember who got it in the end. I didn't get it. But yeah, someone else got back probably about, like you say, about half hour before me. And I got back, about half an hour later, and like half that bottle was gone, like on his own. And I was like, "What are you doing?" Another half an hour later, the rest of the bottle was gone. About another half hour after that, he was literally fucking spewing everywhere, wasn't he?
He had his sliding door open and his front door, and he was just holding onto that pillar like it was life, just like everywhere.
Because he pretty much slept for the rest of the weekend after that, didn't he? He barely moved.
Because that was the we all travelled around the island, didn't we, in convoy, and Bungle and Zoe were hanging out the roof of my van all the way around.
Yeah.
Still, my favourite photo that is got me, Ruby, and Zoe in the front. And you two were like Budweisers on the roof, just chilling.
Yeah, that was good going through town because you're bouncing up and down, scraping and shit, and everyone's fucking looking over. Yeah, that was pretty good. Good head turner.
Yeah, that was static then, no, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the hydros just after that. It's kind of the last outing. Because I know
I suppose, but yeah, Burrell still had his T4, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We need to.
Yeah,
that was when who was it? That was when that was when Adam sat down and ripped your curtain off the front.
Was that me?
I think so. Yeah, I think you went to get. Was it you? I think went to get into the van, and Burrell had a curtain go across just behind the front seats, and you went to sit on one of the front seats and sat on the curtain and took it with you, and took all the curtain rail with you as well, and just ripped the whole thing down. Burrell just had to, after that, just sort of throw his little curtain over the seats for the rest of the weekend.
Oh, I miss that van. We need to find it one day. We need to get it back.
Yeah, that was an awesome van.
Yeah, it was so cool. But it was just a shame you got fucked over with that dodgy engine.
Yeah, that was a bit of a pain in the ass because I just couldn't be arsed with it anymore. And then Paul put his van up for sale, and it was the only T5 I liked. So I thought, fuck it, let's get that. That's why I haven't changed it for years, because I just love the way it looks.
It does, but it does look good, doesn't it? But like we need to make it our own and make it the proper low down T5.
Yeah.
Like it's recognisable when it comes in then. And I love what you've done with the front, because you took all the metal work out, didn't you, on the dash, and put standard dash and stuff in, but all black.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it looks so better now.
Yeah, I wanted it just to be, I don't know, a bit more cleaner on the inside, because it had all the wood and that in there, and that was all good, but that was all Paul's sort of ideas.
Yeah.
So changing it up really.
Got to be done, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Get it painted, get it on some wheels, and I've got so many good ideas for a feature on that van. Like, I want it to be like a complete freak show horror movie for like 4 minutes. I want fake blood. I want arms falling on the floor with meat fingers going in it. Everything. It looks so good.
We all wear masks and shit and run around.
Yeah, basically, like, imagine like the van in like the unit, and then it hydros up, and just a load of people crawl out from underneath it with like guts hanging off them and stuff. if we're doing Bungle's van, it's got to be the weirdest video on the whole of YouTube, isn't it?
Why is my name I love T5s?
Oh, you do love T5s, though.
Yeah, mine's Adam Dublovin Roberts. Bungle
Bungle
cunt.
cunt.
It's ones that we got on Facebook.
Was it?
Yeah, just
Oh, admin chat names.
I'm absolutely shit-faced as well. So pissed.
I have to say this
Little
water's
5-minute
going down
bag
pretty
break.
well.
Hey, yeah, I need to go.
A 5-minute bag break.
You missed him going for a wee. That was amazing.
He didn't realise his headphones had a microphone. So he went for a piss, and then literally it was the loudest thing that you've ever heard in your life. I'm guessing that's Barrel having a wee then.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear your piss stream. Barrel was basically pissing into my ear.
So we're kind of wrapping up the podcast now. It's our first one, so we don't really know what we're doing, but just having a chat, filming it. But I suppose we should tell everyone, kind of with lockdown now, where we're going to try and progress to, and what we've kind of got in the pipeline, and just kind of get everyone involved, really. So I'll let you talk about this one, Chris. Really.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, basically since obviously all the last lockdown, I suppose that Lowdown got busier, I suppose, on a lot of the stuff we were doing, especially started bringing out more of the suspension side of things. Like, we're moving into that a lot more now. Like, we shift a fair amount of air suspension and coilovers and stuff like that. Not even to just the vans as well, to a lot of the cars. And Jack kind of needed a bigger workshop as well. Obviously, for people who didn't know, I had my first child this year. Well, she's 3 weeks old now. So with the baby on the way, and again, for a lot of people that didn't know, Lowdown Transport, like the actual clothing side of things and everything, has always, I've done it from home. Like, it's always been in my spare room. And I was building a new garage to sort of house it all in. And then all of a sudden, do you know what I mean, we had a baby on the way, and it's like, right, okay, what are we going to do here? Luckily, Lewis at Signs Effects let us move all the stuff over to there up in his mezzanine, and have one of the offices up there, which was like well handy, because otherwise right now I'd been screwed. We wouldn't have had a nursery and all the rest.
As well, haven't you?
You what?
It's literally full up there on his mezzanine.
Yeah, and it was full here as well. When it was literally like there was nothing else in there apart from just racking and just clothing and everything. And now, yeah, sort of taking over at Lewis's. So like, we started to outgrow that now as well. And I sort of feel a bit bad sort of taking over as officers. And like I said, Jack wanted to get a bigger unit as well. So we sort of said, well, all right, we're already doing a lot of stuff together anyway. You started doing a lot more install. A lot of people that email us and say, well, you know, you supply suspension, can you fit it as well? And a lot of the time I just say, yeah, because we can. You know, and we've been doing this for a lot of years. And Jack's been doing it for a lot of years as well. So we're just doing a lot of stuff together anyway. So it kind of made sense for us to just get a new unit, bigger unit together. So that's now in the process. That's all with the solicitors and all that sort of stuff at the minute. So hopefully soon we'll be getting this new bigger unit and all moving into there, and everything will start sort of moving on a lot more, because throughout the year we've been working on a lot more parts, developing a few more bag kits and on different vehicles.
Yeah, we've
So we're just
few vehicles, isn't you, for R&D and sorting out different ways of doing it and stuff, and getting them the
yeah.
lows, but the best quality ride, same as our T5 kit, but bring it down to the other models.
Yeah, and some other different vehicles as well that aren't
Yeah,
transporters. There's some other stuff in the pipeline that's being done that we've started doing a lot of the parts for, and
we're gonna have like a proper hub as well now, like a proper that is Lowdown, that is our hub. We can
yeah. So it's going to be nice. We're going to have a well organised stock room, so to speak, so that all the clothing is actually all nicely out on display with the counter and all that sort of stuff. So if people are coming in, at least there's somewhere that they can pick up the clothing and buy it from, rather than just having to order it online. You know what I mean? People can come in, but it's not exactly a shop. It's going to be a well organised stock room.
But they can see
well.
You can see the goings on in like the workshop and what we're doing on that side of things as well.
Yeah, I think we're hoping to, once we get in there, I don't know whether it'll be like once a month or every weekend, we don't know, but we're going to have like a social Saturdays. So I suppose the stuff that we're working on, we'll make sure it's all like parked up on the floor and
yeah,
looking cool, and just organize, good clean up and actually have a open day, so to speak. It probably will be once a month, because if we did it every Saturday, I suppose you're dedicating yourself to it then. Whereas obviously we've all got families, we can't always all be there at the weekends. Like, it'll be good to get that social aspect side of things, because it'd be nice for it to be a social area as well, rather than just being, do you know what I mean, just a place of work. Because as we all know, this is all come from a club, and that's, do you know what I mean, that's the be all and end all of it, really, is that it's a big social thing for us. It's our hobby. It's not just our job sort of thing. It is our hobby. Like, we all love it, we all enjoy it, and we all enjoy seeing our friends who are into it as well.
Exactly. And like, when we've got the unit, we're going to kind of film the day-to-day goings on, and do you know what I mean, because we all have such a laugh when we're together anyway. Like, I think it'll be quite good watching. And do you know what I mean, you can watch the features and the how-tos and all that stuff, but you can also watch how we get on and interact, and just kind of the goings on of the unit, which would be quite good, I think.
Yeah.
So get like those bits. Obviously, I do the YouTube and stuff, but Bungle, if you don't know, is a phenomenal photographer, and do you mean you do a lot of astronomy and stuff like that, don't you?
Yeah, astrophotography.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you guys told me to start putting my camera down at people's vans. So if you want your van photographed, I need the practice. So hit me up after COVID restrictions have eased off a bit, really.
Yeah, it'd be good to get. Hopefully, it'll be a case of once sort of COVID restrictions lift a little bit and we can start sort of moving around a bit more, you'll be able to go, meet up with Adam whilst he's off doing feature videos on people's vans, do all the photos and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So at least then we maybe even like bring out a blog on the actual website, bring a nice reader page sort of thing, do some write-ups, and
it's a refreshing angle, isn't it? Like, because we're not like the mags where we have to be like pander to everyone as such. Our blog will obviously just be Lowdown related, so it's kind of somewhere you can go if you've had enough of the videos and the Facebook groups and stuff. You can just go and just read about people's vans, why they built them, how they built them, what they've done, all straight from their mouth, written on our blog, like with Bungle's photos. I think it's a good, do you know what I mean, happy medium between mags, YouTube, and all that.
Yeah, it may even not be a case of actually doing a blog on the website. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
obviously we've got the newsletter, the email newsletter, which is like, there's quite a lot of people subscribe to that. Which, by the way, if you don't, then subscribe to that now. Just go on the website and just click subscribe, because you'll hear about all the latest news and stuff when things are actually happening. We'll send out an email usually. So I mean, it might even be a case of doing that. Well, once a month or a couple of times a month, actually send an email out. The newsletter out with what's been going on and who we've been off to feature and all that sort of stuff. So it may be like a member exclusive, subscribers. I can't remember what I was trying to say.
you need a bit. There we go.
Jack, have you got anything to add?
I don't think so. I think it's all fairly covered. But yeah, like you say, it would be nice to have a bigger, more organised space to actually, get the work through, and somewhere essentially purpose built for for what you guys do, as well as what I do.
Yeah, exactly. So we it's not just going to be vans, is it? Like our, social Saturdays, we're going to have all clients with all their cool air ride, lowered cars and different vehicles, branches out everywhere, doesn't it? And just makes a really cool lowered scene.
That's it. Yeah. So again, a lot of the parts that we supply, all the airlift. Do you know what I mean? There's we've got parts for VMAX and Revo, all these big brands for all cars and everything as well. And really, we obviously supply a lot of the stuff, obviously for just transporters, but for with Dropworks there as well. Obviously, we'll move a lot more into the car side of things as well, because we can supply all those parts too and install all the parts as well. So there is that option. It's sort of more of a one-stop drop shop rather than just a one-stop van shop. There will be all that side of things to come too.
And obviously, the more we get, the closer we get to these things, we'll put it up on our social medias and stuff and explain what we're doing. But these are all, the unit is kind of going ahead at the moment, isn't it? But quite a few of the things are in the pipeline, and we just want to get it out. Wherever you want to find it, we want Lowdown there so you can get your fill kind of thing, because that's what we started it for, wasn't it? It was a place for people that want slam vans, and that's what it's always been, and it always will be, depending on the group, Instagram, come to the shows. Because we get quite a lot of people that are loud on the forum and stuff. They don't do the shows for.
Never met them, no.
So,
and it has been a tough, for the last year has been pretty tough on all of us, and for us as well. Do you know what I mean? Everything that we do is a massive social aspect to it. For the whole thing, and you can see that people are starting to get testy as well. Even on the online forums, everyone's starting to get a little bit snappy. No one's been out of the house for long enough. And it always happens as well. Every winter, I've always noticed this. Through the club and on the club Facebook page, all summer, it's all everyone's best mates and everyone's having a good laugh because we're all going away and all that sort of stuff. And when it gets to winter, everything starts dying down. By the end of the winter, there's always people falling out. There's always people that are always friends throughout the summer and they fall out in the winter. Every time it's got like that again now. Everyone's just getting all cooped up and everyone's just getting a little bit aggy and everyone's starting to just take it out on each other. And it will come to an end, I think, and we will be able to all have a good laugh again. But at the minute, we're obviously just putting in work to set the ground stones for when we can do that. When we come out of this, we want an area of our own to be social with everyone, and do the work rather than coming out of it and we can only just see people at shows again.
Can I just add that I dispatched another load of stickers over the weekend, so that those still waiting, they should be with you in the week. And if you need a sticker, this is for these are member stickers, so you've got to be low approved. I've got loads in stock, so if you need some, just send me a message.
Yeah, awesome.
Nice. And I'm back up to date on clothing and orders and stuff as well, because obviously I've been paternity leave, so that stuff hasn't been dispatched. So, and again, for people who don't actually know us personally, we all live in different areas of the country. Me and Jack are probably the closest, and we're still 45 minutes away from each other. And then Burrell's a bit closer. He's about an hour and 20 minutes away, and Adam's probably about 3.5 hours away from us. So obviously we've all got our own separate thing. The clothing side of things is run by myself and my partner Beth. And obviously when we had a baby, so we've obviously both been out of action. So there was a delay on orders, but everything's been sent and everyone should probably have had everything by now. But
yeah,
if not, send me an email.
And that's the thing, our stickers and stuff, you got to be low approved. It's not just someone sends you, I want a sticker, and you send it straight out. You got to check that they are a proper Lowdown member. And it was the thing at the beginning, right, when we said we're going to make people put photos up on our Facebook to make sure they're low enough. Do you remember everyone said that'll be your Achilles heel? That'll be the thing that makes you drop out first.
Yeah.
We're still here. 5 years.
It's been the thing that's kept us going, though, really. A lot of people still criticise it. There's been a lot of people that still, you try and explain it to people now, and they're like, what the fuck? They just don't get it. And you try and explain it to people, and you say, well, yeah, but it started off as like a proper tiny club. There was literally like 10 of us in the beginning or whatever, and so we just done these stickers so we could all have one. And then when the actual Facebook group started getting a little bit bigger, people would go, oh, can I have one of those stickers? They look really cool. It just started, we just went, well, show us your van then. And they send a picture in. We're like, well, it's not low. So why would you want a Lowdown Transport sticker? It just doesn't make sense. And it literally started like that. And so you try and explain that to normal people nowadays, it's quite hard. Like, and people still think that we are right up our own asses because of it. But it's not because we're up our own asses. It's literally like we don't want you to look like a twat as well as we don't want ourselves to look like a twat.
And like our members are so dedicated. You can have a fake sticker, but if it's a mill out, they fucking know.
A lot of the time, we don't even care that much anyway. Like, we've got all the trademarks for the logos and everything. Like, but a lot of the time, we don't really get massively offended if someone does a fake sticker. We'll just sort of say to them, look, that is trademark. Like, we will take you to court if we have to, sort of thing. But we're not actually like horrendously bothered as long as they're not making like loads of fake ones. But the members, man, they just go absolutely ham. And that, I suppose, really, it is them one. It is the members that it's offended the most, really, because they've all worked quite hard to get a sticker.
Yeah. They put
You'd expect to get a lot of shit if you do it.
Yeah, and that wasn't me consenting that you can make your own fake stickers, by the way. So don't even try it.
Listen, there's that many members now. There will be someone that lives near you, and they will pap you at a co-op.
It will be a lynch mob. Honestly, there's gonna be a point one day. Like, some people take it really seriously. I think there's gonna be a point at some day where someone's just gonna take a sticker off someone's van that's gonna kick off. Like, I can just see it happen.
It will be Joe James. I feel like Joe James is the sticker police.
He's gonna get punched in the face for taking a sticker off someone's van. Like,
he scares me. He has a sixth sense. He knows if someone's put a fake Lowdown sticker on a van. He just knows, and he's there.
Yeah, he's all over it. He will hunt them down.
I'm not being bitter, but he did make us go to the Lake District. I've still not got over that.
Yeah, but it wasn't going to the Lake District that was the problem. It was going past the Lake District and coming out the other side and going to the worst place on fucking earth.
We were at Middle Earth, which is the windiest fucking place. Like, it was so windy, I had to hold my pop top up while trying to sleep. So in the end, I had to put it all down and go and sleep downstairs.
It was bad, man. I woke up in the middle of the night a couple of times. It was that windy. I thought, I better go just check the gazebo and just make sure that's all right. Like, I went in there and that's absolutely mint. Then I'd sort of shine my torch around the rest of the campsite, and everyone's like pop up, driveway awnings and stuff were just fucking flat.
Yeah. Mate, literally, because obviously I kind of vlogged the whole thing. I got home, every single video I put on the computer was just wind noise everywhere, mufflers on the mics, everything. So in the end, I was like, right, better find some tunes. I think it's like 7 songs long. just trying to cut out all this wind noise. But
so windy, you just couldn't be bothered to have any audio from the actual footage.
But it gave us that little bit of Lowdown, didn't it? That little bit.
Yeah, that little glimmer. That was literally the only time I went out last year, pretty much. I think I went to the Wolfsburg bus crew camp out. And we went to the lakes, and that was literally the only things that we done last year. And it was just, it gave you that little bit of glimmer of hope that life might go back to normal.
On, there's the lake strip there. Lawrence's van on our air ride.
It was actually a good weekend, really, because it was an adventure. Like, it was a long trip, and so it was an adventure. It's the same with like the Isle of Wight. That was probably one of the best shows because it was an adventure. Like, it was long. It wasn't just driving 2 hours down the road to a show. Like, it was a case of like, is my van actually going to make it that far? Because I know we all drive I drive a T5 and that, but that shit breaks down. Like, coming home, and my rad decided to just start leaking. I was having to put water in it like every half hour, 45 minutes, having to pull over on the side of the road and fill it with like a couple of litres of water and then carry on again. Like, shit happens even in modern vehicles. Like,
I think that might have had something to do with the fact we were playing bumper vans on the motorway, though.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with that. Just crashing into each other at every opportunity we could. Just on the M6, just crashing into each other.
But it was the only kind of thing last year. It wasn't a show. Do you know what I mean? We all had social distance camps, and but there was 50 of us there, and it felt right. When you're walking through the centre of the club camp, you can literally say hello to absolutely everyone, and I loved that. And I did miss it a bit.
It was nice to just see a load of people, wasn't it? Like just have that a little bit of social aspect in the back again for a little while. Even though it was only once this year, but
Do you know what I mean? And get back.
hopefully we'll get back to some sort of normality this year.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think we'll wrap it up there. We'll think of more topics. If you guys write down in the comments if you've got topics or ideas for the podcast, I mean, because we're just four idiots drunk talking on a Saturday night.
Or if you thought we were complete boring bastards and never want to see us do it again,
you might
put it below.
You might not even be listening. You might think, fucking, I ain't listening to them for an hour. They're a bunch of wankers. But we're still here. It's fine. I'm going to say thank you to the subscribers, because it is growing at about 150, 200 subscribers a week, which is really good for the amount of content we are putting out in lockdown. But hopefully this gives you a little bit more of lowdown, and you get to see our beautiful faces. So you guys want to say goodbye?
It's probably going to happen every week or every couple of weeks, I suppose. Yeah. So we're going to catch up regardless. We were already catching up doing a video call now and then anyway, so we might as well record it and just put it up and just.
Yeah, this literally happens anyway. If it's not on Messenger, it's on bloody Facebook audio chat or something. So we may as well video it and put it up for them to listen to us just bambling on, like. Yeah,
To be fair, now I've had a couple of drinks, I feel like continuing. But I'm also really tired.
I just put lemonade in that one. I didn't put any rum because I was so pissed about 10 minutes ago. I said to Zoe, I don't think I can go back on. Anyway, right. I'm going. I'll see you guys later. I think that was good. It was all right.
Yeah.
And like, we're only getting better.
So. Are we going to put something at the end to say, if you're still listening, you can have a £5? Because if someone asks for the £5, at least you'll know someone's made it through the whole thing.
Should we do a discount code of like 2%?
Yeah, if you're still listening, there's a 10% off discount code. It's going to be the lowdown 1.
Oh, that's not a very good one. Do fuck the Lake District.
Fuck that.
All right, yeah. All right, the discount is fuck the Lake District.
Fuck Joe James.
So, if you're still listening,
let's go.
He'll be the only one still listening.
Type in fuck the Lake District, get 10% off all clothing on store. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see down in the comments if you are this low. No, fucking hell, let's cut that out. Fucking hell. Oh, fuck, I'm going away. Right, that was good.
All right. See you later, lad.
Later. Ta-da.
Bye.